Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jay. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to post your 3D objects for your web. It's going to be very simple videos, and that's our main purpose of these videos. And my second purpose of this video is going to be how to make it simple and short these videos. I'm going to try to focus on the two purposes, and let's straight to our first point. So when you do prepare for doing this, we need to have the subject, and the program we're gonna use this video for is WebODM, and the Blender is gonna be like free options for us, of course. And the Vectary, company name called the Vectary, we can post in our 3D models there, and we get the links and put on that links to your website. Oh, of course, you need to have your own website if you post that model stuff on your website. And let me briefly talk about the process. It's gonna be, we need to have plannings, capturing plannings, and the capturings, and select the photos, and process it through the WebODM, and get the results. And we're gonna do a little bit of a process on the build blenders. After blenders, upload to the Vectaries, and get the links, and with the links post on your website. It's gonna be very simple, but in this videos I'm gonna focus on the process on the blenders and the Vectary on it. For the rest of the process, if you guys are curious about it, I'm pretty sure I talked about it in my previous videos, so you might want to take a look at if you're curious about how to make a plan and the capturing with the Litchi and the air to air space combinations I'm talking about here. So capturing, select the photos, processing with ODMs. If you guys are curious about how to install the WebODM, I made a video again. If you guys want to take a look at it and get the results. So let me show you. I already posted on my website. Let me show you the results first. So if you take a look at this screen, hold on. Let me check it whether I'm still recording my screen here. That's okay. That's working. So you can zoom in. This is actually other photos. So not 3D modeling, but I was thinking it's a good idea to show like a little bit like a 3D shapes to my client. So you can zoom in and zoom out, and then you can rotate it, and you can move out your subjects with your mouse, and this is look really cool. So these things we're gonna make it, and this technique actually was popular like a couple of years ago. I think the company like Sketchfab. That's one of the biggest the 3D modeling communities on the website. But they also provide the what we're gonna do it. But the company called the Vectaries is only focused on the postings purposes. So they have pro versions. Do I need to mention it now? Yeah, I'm gonna mention it now. They have the free version up to the 25 projects is free, and of course that's not gonna be the private. I'm gonna explain it at the end of the videos. But up to 25 projects is free. You can share it to your webs. But if you don't want to the other people to clone your projects and edit and post it again, you need to pay the next options, pro options. I'm gonna explain it at the end of the video anyway. So let's go back to my website here, and these things we're gonna make it at the end of the videos. So assuming that we already planning the project and went there and went to the work site and captured the photo and back to the office and select the photos. and the processor on the WebODM. So when you go to the WebODM, I already processed it, and let's have a look at the view. The example I'm going to use it is the one I captured it for my previous videos. It's one of the client to doing the auto photos, like the mappings for their the work site. So go back to the dashboard, and you need to download it, 3D model asset. So you can download all of the assets, but you can also only download the textured models. Well, in my case, I downloaded all the assets here. And once you open the download assets, you can find the ODM texturing folder. You can get in there. You can see that the OBJ file there and the texture file there. And then you need to import to the blenders. So before I move to the blenders, let me see what I missed. Nothing. Okay, let's go to the Blender. You can import it, your object, using the import menus right over here, and go to the texture folder, and you can import it objects. So already imported already. So let's take a look at the windows. Let me close the window for now. So basically, what we need to do on the Blender, because we need to lower the polys. The recommended face counts from the Vectary is 100K face count. The poly count, number of poly count they recommended is 100K. But I tried like a 200K and a 400K. We can upload it, but the problem is it makes it really slow because of the limitation of the internet speed. So you might wanna, I found it like 150K is like kind of a sweet spot. So, but you get the idea. So the more you upload your files, bigger file you upload it, the lower slow you can experience. So the main aim here is we're gonna focus on what they recommended, which is 100K. Let me go slow. 3 steps we need to do it on the blenders. With first one is lower the poly. If you lower the poly, your texture gonna be distorted. So we need to bake again from the original textures. So basically we need to lower the poly. For low polys, we need to copy the skin textures from your original models, and then paste it onto your load polys. And then we're gonna do like a little bit of the cleanup process, and then we're gonna export to the Vectaries on the website. 3 simple steps I'm gonna explain from now. So go to the top view, under the object mode, and then select the objects. You might want to duplicate it first. So Shift D, and once you duplicate it, the object will attach to your mouse cursor. So you might want to press the right click of your mouse buttons, and it has to be positioned exactly same position. So you don't want to move your your duplicated object. So hide your original folder, name it, your copied objects like DM low polys, which I already done it. Anyway, by the way, I'm gonna do it anyway. So you go to the mesh view and go to the render tab. And you might wanna change the render engine to the cycle. On the cycle, we can see the bake options. So you might wanna change to the GPU compute mode as well. And see, you're gonna have a bake options right over here. If you go to the EV mode, if you go back to the EV mode, you can have the options. So make sure you wanna change the cycle, and you're gonna see the bake options right over here. So we need to lower the poly. To do that, we need to go to the Tools tab and add a modifier called Decimate. And you're gonna see the phase count is right over here. So at the moment, my current phase count is 484 something. And to reduce it, you're gonna change the ratio. So if you put in the 0.5, it's gonna be make it half of it. See, calculating. So in this case, I'll probably go for the calculated, maybe the 0.2 will make it close to 100K. Yeah, there you go. It's a 96,000 phase poly count. So that's pretty much about it, what they recommended. So I'm gonna proceed it to apply it. When you apply it, it'll take a time depending on the size of your polys. There you go. So once you add up the decimate again, it will show you your current poly the phase counts are over here. So let's have a look at what actually happens between these two. Go back to the texture view. So I'm selecting the originals and then move back a little bit right hand side. There you go. I'm gonna make another window to easily compare. Left hand side is the lower order polys, and the right hand side is original textures. As you can see, if there is not straight line, there is a distortions around if the object on the ground is a straight line, it's gonna be distorted, easily distorted. But if you take a look at the left hand side on the ground, you can't really figure out that where the distortions on the grounds. But if subject has a straight line, it's gonna be distorted. That means everything gonna be distorted if you lower the poly. So that's why we need to make we need to copy from copy the texture from the original and paste into the new poly. If that makes easy to understand for you guys. Anyway, so let's go back to where it was. Make sure your original poly's object and your copied lowered object positioned in the same positions. And then what we need to do is I'm going to delete this was, bring that here, right over here. So back to the mesh view. There you go. So what you need to do is go to the shader tab, and you need to delete all of the materials. So let me show you there one more time. So say you copy from the original textures, select it, duplicate it, and then there you go. And then go back to the mesh and decimate. I'm sorry, I'm doing it again because I just deleted it. And reduce the poly to the 0.2 and calculate it, taking time a little bit, and apply it. Make sure you need to apply it. There you go. And go to the shader tab. You need to delete all the distorted textures. So delete it. Delete it. You can't delete it if you are on the edit mode. So make sure you're on the object mode, and you need to make a new material. So we're gonna change the name of the new materials to new mate. Full bake. Well, just call it new mate 01. And then we need to go to the image editor. We need to have new image texture for new lowered poly. So we need to make a new image texture files. name the call is new texture bait. That's gonna be a long name. And the size, we're gonna do the 4K 4096, and then leave the rest of the options at default, and click the OK. You're gonna see the blank papers waiting for new texture for your load polys. And we're gonna open up the one more windows and go to the shade editors. You can see there's nothing other than the base node right over here. All right. Before we proceed to the baking process here, we need to actually mapping the address to the new blank texture file. It's really hard to understand. Do I need to explain it? So, say, since they split into the mesh model and the image textures and two file, if we working on the 3D modelings, I don't know why they split into the texture file and the 3D modeling mesh text files, mesh files. But everybody like promised that we need to split into them. Might be the each to maintenance. I don't know. But we need to map the address from of the meshes to your textures. So say that you have texture files and the mesh files, and around my fingernails there's a certain map address here. So like 01 and 02 and 03 and 04 and 5 for your textures. So texture file also has the mapping address like 01, 02, 03 and 5. So they actually, once you reduce your meshes, the address gonna be distorted as well, I think. I know. I'm not gonna get into the deeps. So anyway, so once you make a new texture file, it's gonna be blank. It doesn't have any address. So basically, what we're doing here is you need to mapping your mesh address to your new texture file. So you need to address let the computer knows the texture around the the last fingers. Excuse me. I'm not gonna take a. Alright, I'm not gonna get into the really deep. So basically, it's mapping the address between the mesh and the texture file. That's what we're doing now. So go to the select the load polys and go to the edit mode and select the whole meshes again. With pressing A and press the U, you will see your options. Go to the second option, Smart UV Projects, and click OK. So that will mapping the address between the texture file and your mesh file. We need to do it first, then we're gonna copy and paste into your new texture file from the original texture file. It takes a couple of times while doing it. I want to check what I missed to explain it. Load poly. Reason why we are doing that is because it's recommended. Because of the lack of the internet speed. They recommended 100,000 K. I already explained it. And okay, let's not forget that the aim here is for the reporting purposes. What I mean by that is we are not here to show them from the internet, show them the extreme details. So the extreme detail on the ground, the face of the people. When you zoom out at the face of people, how many eyes they have. That's not we are doing it. We try to show them with the reasonable details what I do. I mean, as as it is what kind of the service I provide. That's my own purpose. So if you are looking for the like extreme details, or if my clients they're looking for the extreme details, I'll probably send through the my original files rather than showing my 3D object on the website. Anyway, looks like the mapping is done. So once your mapping is done, back to the object mode and select the lowered poly and go to the image shade window and press the Shift A and go to the textures and select the image textures, and you can place the node any place you want and link to the base color. Let me zoom in. Again, from the image texture, from the colors to the base color, linked it, and select the new image textures, or we just make that, which is called the new texture baked. There you go. And then make sure you're on the sRGB colors, and turn on the original models. Let me go back to the textures view. There you go. So turn on the original layers and select that original layers, and then make sure you select the image texture node of the original models. Select it and select the new lowered poly layers and go to the image shaders, and let's make sure select the your image texture of lowered mesh models. So I think you're pretty much ready to go, and go back to the render tab and go to the baked, and make sure your bake type is choose the diffuse, and direct, indirect, we don't need the lights, only colors, texture we're gonna copy from the original. So to make sure you check that selected to active, and we don't need the cage and extrusions and the max radius distance values. You can find your own sweet spot, but I think the 0.2 kind of works okay for me, so I put in the 0.2 and leave the rest of them as a default. I think we're ready to go. So make sure you select the original layer first, and with press Control and select the lower polys, and then start a bake. It depends on the image size. It takes a while. I tried to bake 8K to show the more details, but it turned out it's not really worth to do it because it's first internet speed, and the second it takes forever to do an 8K. So while doing that, let me repeat it again. So we're not here to show the extreme details on the online, because these things roughly we can show that to our client. Yeah, these things are what we done it before and we doing now. If that is a small object, it's fine. So let's say you're gonna capture and show it on the website of this remote control and the 3D models. It's fine. It doesn't really have like them higher details we need to show them. Well, even though you zoom in. But if we're talking about like a building mappings or the buildings modelings or the mapping stuff, it's gonna be huge files. So of course your client is too not expecting to see what kind of face they have on people on the ground. Of course not. So you might wanna try to the sweet spot for your own projects. In my case, I think the face count 150K is quite okay, and the total, including textures, total size of the file is less than 40 megabytes, 35 megabytes, somewhere around there. I think this kind of works okay. For the baking process, why we need to do it? Because once you lower the poly, the texture gonna be distorted, and That's why we need to either copy from the original texture and paste it into the new blank image textures. And the third step, what we need to do, actually I copied it already, so I'm not gonna stop it. So canceling, let me close these windows, and I want to show you something else. So on the object mode, hide, and lower the poly and baked. Let me show you what's the difference between the originals, and make sure I select the originals. There you go. And the beauty, that's 3D viewport. So on the window now, on the right hand side is original and the left hand side is baked. So when you see that, the baked textures, not like we showed it before, there is no distortion, it looks straight. I think the baking process is pretty much done quite well. The only problem I see is contrast and the colors. But you can easily change the color and the contrast on the blender to adding the color nodes to your shader windows. But I think I recommend doing that on the Vectary website. They provide like that option as well. So I'm gonna do it on the Vectary website. So I'm gonna just skip it. I'm gonna move back to the where it was. So now what we need to do is do a little bit of a cleaning process. There's a couple of tools you can use it, but what we're gonna use it here. Let me select the object and back to the edit modes. And there's a knife and the bisect. The way we're gonna use it as a tool for the cutting process is gonna be bisect. So press the A to select all your objects, and drawing the line to where you wanna cut. Is that straight? Let's say it's straight. Now I'm gonna do it again. Drawing the line. Select the object first, and drawing the line to cut out where you wanna cut. And once you've done it, you might wanna go to this little pop-up window and clear the inner and the out. So select the out. You can see that there's a clean out your objects. So I'm gonna do the one more. Select the outside of models and select the object and draw the lines here, and then out. It took me like 3 days to find out how to clean out the method I used to do it, because I individually selected the face and delete it before I knowing that there's this cutting the methods. So I think that's the worst to share with you guys. So one more time, I'm gonna select the A with the A and draw the line, and click it out. Clean the inners. There you go. So back to the normal modes, and you'll see the very clean edges around your objects. Here, very clean. I'm very happy with that. And let's export our models right over here. Go to the export, and you can save as object file, but the Vectary also support FBX. I found FBX is more, I don't know, but the FBX is more like efficient way to upload your 3D modeling. So let's save the FBX. As you can see, I already saved the FBX right over here. I just cancel it, and let's go to the Vectaries. So once you save your exported files, we can go to the Vectary website. But before actually go to the next step, we need to do the one more steps. So if you look at the go to the image textures, the one we baked, that one. Once you're done with the baking process, you actually need to save your new image texture by yourself. The Blender doesn't provide it automatically the savings, the options. So make sure you need to save your own new baked image texture to your file. And I highly recommend you're gonna use the same name of your object name. Then the Vectary's the program easily recognize the two files to match to match for your object. So you need to save new image textures, and you make sure you might want to name it in the same as your object names. I already done it, and let's go to the Vectary website. So you will see the first the page looks like this, and you need to register first to use their programs. And once you register it, you can open the Vectary. So let me just check the audio is working. I'm really scared of my camera. This is actually the third time the recording of this for this video. Excuse me. Anyway, so make sure that my screen's recordings. And once you registered it and open up to the Vectary, and you're gonna see looks like this, the dashboard. So press the new object. Once you press it, you're gonna see like empty space here. What you need to do is import it. Go to the left hand side, and you're gonna burger buttons, and go to the import it. And choose the files. There's two files you just exported. One is the object file, the other one is a texture file. Select both of them and open them into the space. And if everything goes well, you're gonna see this message. You might wanna select the fit object. It will automatically calculate it somehow, and that you're gonna see that this object's right up here, which I already done it, and that looks really weird. I don't know why. Maybe I saved the wrong textures. New texture baked. Oh, maybe I saved the new load polys, and that's the previous one. So I think that the files are right here. I'm pretty sure that I processed the matches while I'm making these videos, and I'm pretty sure that the texture file is my mesh file is not matched. But once you've done it properly, and you're not gonna have any problems. So do I need to do it again? No, I just already pre-made for this video. So let me show you the pre-made objects. Where is the pre-made objects? I'll go back to the other dashboard. Let me bring it up the one I already pre-made for these videos. While it's loading it, I need to check out my cameras. Yeah, it's working. So once you load up your files, let me show that the basic things before we actually proceed. So once you load up your files, you're gonna see the beautiful object you just processed through the Blender. So what you need to do is you might wanna add up the little bit of adjustments. Let me clean that up, this one as well. So I will add effects. Press the plus buttons. I will just edit the soft shadows and edit the adjustment and edit the vignette. These things I'm not always do it. So if you go left hand side at top of corner, there is a light source you can edit. So spear lights, I'll probably place it a little bit higher. zoom out a little bit more and a little bit higher, and check out the intensities and make the size about a little bit 35. It's gonna be a spread size, so gonna increase a little bit and increase a little bit light more. There you go. And you can select, once you select the once you selected your models, you're not gonna see the effect, the panel. So you need to select unselected models. Like press the any out of the models. You're gonna see the effects here. And then once you click the vignette, you're gonna see the value panels. And change the radius, darken down a little bit, and the softness a little bit lowers, and adjustment, increase the saturations, and increase the contrast, and lower the exposure, because I'm gonna increase the light source anyway. So select the light source again. I'm gonna increase the light source light intensity a little bit more, and then lower down the size of it. So if it is light, if you're not happy about it, I'm not happy about it, so maybe lower down the positions. There you go. I think it's pretty much okay. That's it, pretty much good positions for my case. A little bit, yeah. So you might want to adjust change your position of the light source, because depends on your actual light. As you can see that there's a sunlight from the left hand side. That's why you can see the shadows around here. So that I can move from the back to the little bit. That makes it look more realistic. And increase a little bit of more. Okay. Once you're done, you can actually preview your models. Press the preview, you can rotate it, you can zoom in. Make sure there is no hot spot around your objects. I think that's quite good. Edit preview. And next step, what you need to do is you need to get once you've done it, the adjustment. Once you're happy with the result, you need to get the share the links. Go to the share the button and click the share the links, and make sure the share to the web turn on. There's a second menus. Anyone with the link can clone. If you wanna turn off that menus, you need to join that. You need to start to consider the paid option, which is pro versions right over here. It starts from the 12 per month. You can pay the yearly, you can save the 45s. So from the pro version, you can enable the button will disable the share and the clone, the clonings. But I'm still under the free version, so let's just leave it like that, and copy the code and go to your website. I already done it here, but let me just delete it and add your widget and enter the code and paste into the code right over here. So the only thing I'm gonna change it here is my height value. So I'm gonna leave it 100%. I'm gonna make it a full size of the windows. So update it and stretch to the full, and it will loading it. And after loading it, it will show you how it looks like. And publish it. But there's something wrong with it. What is it? Oh yeah, it's not dollars, it's percent. Update it. Then we're gonna see like a full screen size of the your models on the screens. Come on, there you go. And you can publish it. I'm back to my website, and I'm close it down. Maybe I'm just copy and close it down, and then refresh it. And you're gonna see the objects. Depends on the size, the time, loading time. It depends on the size. So you can, as you can see, we can see this 3D beautiful object. We just processed the 3D, the whole process. I found this a couple of weeks ago. This is really beautiful way to show them to your client what kind of work you can do. Well, it's really amazing, and it's free options. But if you go to the left down, you can see there's like a green small button, which actually anybody can see it. So once they click it, they're gonna see this options. So if they clone the edit projects from here, they can actually change the values. And they can change, and they can post it, they're gonna use it. So to avoid this, you need to start considering the paid versions of the Vectaries. So there are other solutions before actually. I mean, if you are like me, just who started up this the business department, like this 3D modeling stuff, which is now really give you like a profit a lot at the beginning, obviously. I think I just would put in my logos on it, so then everybody knows everybody knows that's my own work. So on the mesh, you might want to put in the logos, because nobody can actually change their mesh, your meshes. So that's another solutions before you actually start to consider the paid options. Anyway, let me double check it in my memo before actually I end up this videos. The baking process, editings, cutting process. By the way, the image texture, you can actually edit in the Photoshop if you really serious about it. And the Vectary, you need to register to use it and log in. And the import process already covered already, and the effects. I normally use the soft shadow and vignette and adjustments, sometimes color adjustments, but not on the Vectary, so I'm not gonna do it. But you can try others effects which provided the Vectaries. If you're willing to do it, you can feel free to try it and get the share link and copy the codes and post it to web. I think that's pretty much about this videos. Wow. I'm very happy with it. Actually, I finished this video because this is actually the third time to record it due to my camera heating issues. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If there's anything if that helps you for your projects, don't forget to leave any comments or don't consider to follow my channels if you wanna look at the other contents like this. And as I promised, I'm probably gonna do like a photo and video works a little bit more rather than the drones. But I think I covered how to start a drone mapping stuff, not professional way, but I cover like how to use the WebODM, the drone programs, and how to post it. So at least I was thinking, it will be great, better, it will be a good idea to share how to post your 3D modelings until up to here, the process. This whole process, I covered it, so I'm probably going to start to talk about the photo and video stuff for my next videos. Anyway, enjoy your weekends, I hope you guys will see the next video very soon. I appreciated your comments and I appreciated your support, even though my English is not really. Anyway, thank you for watching this. Hope to see you guys in the very soon in the next video.